Let me tell you something that most real estate agents in San Diego will never say on camera. The buyers who make the most money in this market are never the ones who bought the hot neighborhood. They're the ones who bought the neighborhood before it became hot. And right now, in 2026, there are 7 suburbs in San Diego County where something is already in motion, permits pulled, infrastructure funded, population moving. And the buyers who find out about this today are going to be telling a very different story in 3 years than the buyers who waited. Hey, I'm Jennifer, your host of Living in San Diego. I've been a San Diego real estate professional for 21 years, and this is the video I wish someone had made for me when I was just starting to understand how this market actually works. So stay with me, because by the time we get through all 7, you're going to completely have a different picture of what's actually happening in this county in 2026. So here's the thing about San Diego that the headlines don't tell you. The county median for a single family home just hit $1 million. Say that out loud, $1 million. That's the median. Half the homes sold for more. And when most buyers hear that number, they do one of 2 things. They either give up entirely or they start chasing coastal zip codes that already priced them out 3 years ago. But here's what the smart money is doing instead. They're looking inland. They're looking at the suburbs, and they're looking at the data that most buyers don't even know exists, such as SANDAG. And that's the Regional Planning Authority for San Diego County. They publish long-term growth projections for every city in the county. And right now, several of those cities show something very specific: active development pipelines, infrastructure investment, population projections that are already in motion. So today I'm breaking down 7 of them. For each one, I'm giving you the real price ranges as of now, not aspirational numbers, not listing prices, current market data. I'll name the school districts, I'll describe what it actually feels like to live there, and I'm going to tell you exactly who each suburb is generally the right fit for based upon lifestyle. So let's go. Number 1, we've talked about this before, San Marcos, the one everybody underestimates. If someone told you 5 years ago that San Marcos was going to become one of the most strategically positioned cities in North County, you might have laughed. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't coastal, it didn't have the name recognition of Carlsbad or Encinitas, but here's what was quietly happening the whole time. Cal State San Marcos sits at the center of a 200-acre, $1 billion plus mixed-use development called North City. That project, its entitlements include 3,400 residential units, 1.1 million square feet of office, 345,000 square feet of retail, a hotel, and it's already under construction. That's not a proposal. This is not a rendering on somebody's website. It is a funded, permitted, active construction project reshaping the entire city, or at least a great part of the city. And SANDAG, the Regional Planning Authority, has San Marcos among the highest projected long-term growth jurisdictions in the county. Now let's talk money. Condos and townhomes in San Marcos, typically starting in the mid 500s to low 700s. Single-family detached homes generally begin in the high to low 900s, moving up from there for sure. And for context, that entry point gets you newer construction, planned community amenities, and access to the 78 corridor that connects you straight into the Carlsbad job hubs without coastal price premium. But what does it feel like to live there? Modern suburban, newer streetscapes, the kind of planned retail where you're not driving 30 minutes for coffee, clean parks, Cal State San Marcos energy, which means younger demographics, walkable nodes, a neighborhood that still feels like it's arriving and thriving. In the school district, San Marcos Unified, solid district with campuses worth reviewing individually. State report cards are your starting point. So who is San Marcos for? It's for the buyer who wants to be ahead of a story, not chasing it. The buyer who looks at 3,400 units under construction next to a university and understands what that does to demand over the next 7 years. The buyer who wants infrastructure, convenience, and growth without coastal chaos. Nearby to San Marcos is Oceanside. It's a coastal bet that most people are sleeping on. Well, the secret's kind of getting out. And here's a question I ask every buyer who tells me they want coastal San Diego but can't afford it. Have you looked at Oceanside lately? Actually looked? Most of them haven't because their mental image of Oceanside is about 10 years old. Let me update that picture for you. Downtown Oceanside has seen genuine food culture transformation over the last 4 years. Craft breweries, farm-to-table restaurants, an active pier, a harbor district that is drawing buyers who grew up going to Pacific Beach but can no longer afford it. And here's the development story. Over 370 new apartment units have been approved near the beach, with additional mixed-use towers rising 7 to 8 stories in that downtown core. So when a coastal city starts densifying its downtown with that level of investment, something very specific happens to the property demand in the surrounding residential market. We have seen this pattern play out in North Park, we've seen it in Little Italy, and now it's happening in Oceanside. So let's talk about the pricing in Oceanside. Condos easily in your 500s inland, pushing more towards 700 to 800 as you get closer to the water. Your detached single-family homes starting in the 900s inland, and if you want to be within a mile of the coast, you're looking at 1.2 million and up. That gap between the inland entry point and the coastal premium, that's the opportunity. In fact, places like Fire Mountain are really popular right now, and the new construction over there is on fire. So what does it actually feel like to live in Oceanside? It's active, it's waterfront. It's still gritty in some pockets, but that's changing fast. Harbor energy, pier energy, the kind of place where you can walk to brunch on a Sunday and also get to Carlsbad or Vista for work in 15 minutes. It has the Oceanside Unified and Carlsbad Unified serve different portions of the eastern boundary areas, and they're worth checking specific addresses to see what they're zoned for. So who is gravitating toward Oceanside? The buyer who wants ocean proximity, believes in urban transformation momentum, and refuses to pay La Jolla prices for it. Now let's pivot way south to Chula Vista, Eastlake, Otay Ranch, the master planned machine. When people ask me where you can still buy newer construction in San Diego County at a price that makes sense for a family, Chula Vista is one of my top answers. And not just any part of Chula Vista, I'm talking about Eastlake and Otay Ranch, the master plan communities on the eastern side of the city that have been in continuous build out for decades. These aren't old neighborhoods. They're designed from the ground up, with wider streets, newer infrastructure, parks built into the plan, and retail anchored around residential demand. SANDAG projects a roughly 18% long-term population growth for Chula Vista, one of the highest figures in the county. And Otay Ranch continues phased build-out. There are active redevelopment discussions in the town center area that include hundreds of additional multifamily units. The current pricing on condos and townhomes are commonly starting in the 600s to 700s. Single-family detached are from the high 800 to 900,000s for most of Eastlake and Otay Ranch inventory, and it moves up for larger lots and the newer phases. Do keep an eye on HOA and Mello-Roos down there. That can add to your considerable costs. Mello-Roos is an additional tax that is put on to fund the local infrastructure such as streets, libraries, policemen, things like that. So do check that before you buy new construction anywhere in San Diego County. For a relocating family, comparing this to what 900,000 buys in Phoenix or Austin right now, the value story becomes very clear, very fast. What does it feel like there? It's very organized. It's very intentional. The streets are wider because someone planned it that way. The parks exist because they were required to. The Target and the Whole Foods and the school are within 2 miles because that was the design. If you value structure in your community planning, Chula Vista's master planned communities deliver it consistently. Sweetwater Union High School District and Chula Vista Elementary School District serve the area. They're well regarded with strong programs worth reviewing campus by campus. So who is Chula Vista generally for? The family relocating from another state who wants newer construction, planned amenities, and a price point that doesn't require them to completely restructure their financial life. Or anybody who wants master plan community with convenience. There's so much possibility in the Eastlake area with the high density apartments and condos. You've got young professionals that move there, and with the larger homes, 3,000 plus square feet in the larger lots, way on the east side, you get a lot of families that choose those areas because they're such fabulous communities. So let's keep moving on. Now let's head a little bit north of there to Santee. Santee is a value story with a transit spine, and it's been always one of my favorite neighborhoods to sell to entry-level buyers because of its proximity to the coast, which isn't that far. It's only about 12 miles as a crow flies, but yet you get so much bang for your buck in Santee, and you've got a lot of different feel out there with some of the older tract homes that are in certain areas, and then like Sky Ranch that has newer construction that's on a higher scale and a different look and feel, not tract home so much. So Santee is a fantastic area. Let's talk about it a little bit more. I want to talk about something that gets almost zero coverage in relocation content about San Diego. The trolley. Santee sits at the end of the MTS Green Line, which means you can get from Santee to Mission Valley or downtown San Diego without touching the 8 freeway. In a county where traffic is a real quality of life variable, that is not a small thing. SANDAG shows projected growth for Santee around 6 to 7% long term. It's not explosive, but it is consistent. And the Santee Town Center specific plan outlines a future of housing and mixed-use development that gives the city a real structural framework. Now, current pricing, and this is where it gets interesting for the value buyers, condos are generally starting in the 500s, and single-family homes often begin in the mid-700s to 800,000s. So for context, a detached home in Santee at $750,000 might cost $1.1 million in a comparable neighborhood in central San Diego. That gap doesn't disappear, and buyers who understand that are making very intentional decisions right now. So what does it feel like to live in Santee? It's suburban and outdoors oriented. Mission Trails Regional Park is essentially in your backyard, and it's one of the largest urban open spaces in the entire country. Hiking, mountain biking, wildlife, a park that San Diegans drive across the county to access, and Santee residents just walk to. Mission Trails Regional Park is an amazing open space, and it is well hiked, dozens of long trails, and of course one of the most popular is Cowles Mountain, which is actually pronounced Coles Mountain, but everybody calls it Cowles Mountain. I don't know why. The school districts are Santee School District and Grossmont Union High School. Who is Santee for? The buyer who wants space, value, outdoor access, and a commute that doesn't depend entirely on a freeway. And all those outdoor lovers that want to live or want to take their dune buggies to Glamis and have that off-roading fun. Santee is and drives a lot of interest for people who have a lot of toys, boats, dune buggies, they want pools, they want heat, they want hiking, they want quiet. So generally our inland areas, our country, our more rural areas tend to be a little more conservative, and our city downtown areas tend to be a little more liberal, if you will. So you'll find your people wherever you need to go. But just if you're looking for a different area and that's an issue for you, there you go. There you have it. Not to get political, I'm just informing you people, okay? Okay? Let's move on, okay? Okay. So let's head back north inland a bit to Vista, the underrated 78 corridor play. I have not talked about Vista on my channel before, so I'm excited to touch base on it, and we will give it a little more oxygen in future videos because Vista is actually one of the more affordable North County suburbs that is attracting a lot of attention and is growing quite fast. And I want to be honest with you about Vista because it's not a growth story in the traditional sense. Vista is not projecting explosive population expansion, but Vista is doing something that sophisticated buyers understand. It functions as a value entry point into the most active job corridor in North County, the 78 corridor. It connects Vista directly to Oceanside, San Marcos, and Carlsbad, where Callaway Golf, Viasat, and multiple biotech and defense employers are based. If you work anywhere in that corridor and you're looking at what your dollar actually buys, condos in Vista are the high 400s to 600, and single-family detached homes often beginning in the 800s. The entry on condos, high 400s, is among the most accessible in North County for buyers who want proximity without premium. What does it feel like to live in Vista? It's local, it's practical. Vista has become a genuine craft brewery scene that draws from across the region. Neighborhood parks, less polished than Carlsbad Main Strip, but connected to everything Carlsbad offers at a fraction of the price. And the school district is Vista Unified. So who is Vista for? The buyer who is maximizing their purchasing power, who wants the 78 corridor lifestyle without the Carlsbad price tag, and who thinks in terms of access, not address. All right, number 6 is Rancho Peñasquitos, the commuter's secret, also known as PQ. This one is different from everything we've talked about so far. There is no major development story here. There is no large-scale construction. There is no 18% population growth projection. What Rancho Peñasquitos has is something arguably more valuable. Location logic. The intersection of 56 and 15 corridors provide direct access to Sorrento Valley, Torrey Pines, and the UTC employment hub, home to some of the highest concentration biotech, pharma, and defense employment in the entire state of California. These are $120,000, $150,000, and $180,000 a year jobs, and the people who hold them want to live within a reasonable commute of work. So Rancho Peñasquitos is where many of them land. The current pricing for condos is about 600 to 700s, and single-family homes are generally beginning at the $1 million price point and moving up from there. What does it feel like in Rancho Peñasquitos? Established, quiet, canyon trails winding through neighborhoods where the houses have been there for 25 to 30 years and the trees have grown in. A community that is not trying to reinvent itself because it doesn't need to. The school districts of Poway Unified in many areas, served by also San Diego Unified, so you need to verify by address. So who is PQ for? The buyer relocating to take a biotech or defense job in the UTC Sorrento Valley corridor. The family who wants an established neighborhood, canyon trails, and a commute that doesn't involve Interstate 5 or the 8. Limited land supply surrounded by canyons and open space supports pricing resilience here in a way that new construction suburbs simply can't replicate. Okay, that brings us to number 7, our last one. Poway, the space and stability buyer. This last one, and this one is for a very specific kind of buyer. Not everyone relocating to San Diego is looking for the next growth story. Some are looking for just the opposite. Space, stability, larger lots, a sense that the neighborhood around them is not constantly under construction like Oceanside. Poway is that place. It is constrained growth by designed planning boundaries, open space protections, and a development culture that has kept Poway from overbuilding for decades. That constraint is not a limitation. For the right buyer, it's the entire point. And the current pricing on condos there, often beginning in the 600,000s, with single-family homes starting in the million and up range, moving up significantly for larger lots, which is really where Poway lifestyle begins. Horse lots, big, huge lots that you can just have a swimming pool and park your toys. It's awesome. It's quieter. It's more spacious. It's the kind of Saturday where you're doing something in your yard, not navigating through someone else's construction zone. Established trees, established neighborhoods, a community that has found its identity and isn't chasing someone else's. Poway Unified, one of the most consistently respected school districts in the county. Worth noting that buyers frequently choose Poway specifically for this district. So who is Poway for? A buyer who has already succeeded somewhere else, who is not trying to get ahead of a wave. They want to land somewhere that will stay exactly what it is, and who wants to stay connected to the 15 corridor for employment without living inside the urban core. So let me bring this all together for you, because here's the thing about $1 million median market price. It really sounds scary, and for some buyers it is. But what it actually means is that every dollar of positioning matters more than it ever has before. Buying in the wrong suburb, even just 5 miles from the right one, can be the difference between a home that grows with the county and the one that sits flat while everything else moves. Here's what 2026 actually looks like across these 7 cities. San Marcos, structured growth, massive development pipeline, North County access. Oceanside, coastal entry point, downtown densification already underway. Chula Vista Otay Ranch, master planned, family focused, highest population growth projection in the county. Santee, transit access, outdoor lifestyle, the value gap is real. Vista, strategic positioning in the 78 corridor, lowest entry point condos in North County. Rancho Peñasquitos, commuter logic for the UTC Sorrento Valley job corridor. Poway, space, stability, and the best school district name in the county. 7 suburbs, 7 different price entry points, 7 different reasons to move. None of them are the coastal hotspots that the headlines talk about. All of them are positioned for something specific in the next cycle. If you are thinking about relocating to San Diego next month, next year, or you're just starting to think it through, I want to talk to you. Not a sales pitch, not a Zoom where I show you listings you could have found on Zillow. A real conversation about which one of these matches your commute, your lifestyle, your budget. A link to book a call or to scan my relocation guide is in the description below or on the screen. And if this video gave you something you didn't have before, will you share it with someone who's also trying to figure out where in San Diego they're supposed to land? As always, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for staying till the end. If you like my content, again, please hit that like button. Drop me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. You can hit the notification bell. We drop a video every week, and I'm hearing from people every week now and really getting a lot of great feedback and thanking me for the content that I'm bringing them and the raw, real way that I present San Diego. Hey, I don't know any other way to do it, people. So again, book a call with me, reach out. Thank you for staying till the end. I love each and every one of you. Stay sunny, San Diego.